Hello, everybody. My name is Rodney with Wolfpack Collectibles. And I'm just this is my first channel, first attempt at putting a channel together. And what I'm doing was kind of putting a channel together to help everybody that's kind of getting into the business of our hobby collecting and knowing where to go, who to turn to, questions to ask. Uh, Anything that you have a question on, put a post or put a link on here, put a question on here, and I'll definitely get back to you. Uh, but like I said, what I want to gear it for is just kind of learning the business. If you're new to collecting and you want to know how to kind of sell your cards, what's the best way to sell your cards using the internet, how do I get my cards graded, where do I get my cards graded, who do I get them graded by. There's a few different companies out there that grade cards. Kind of go through the ins and outs of those, show you some cards, have some box breaks, have some card openings online. That seems to be something that, that fascinates me when I watch these channels, is somebody else opening up a box and seeing them get a mint card or a hot card, and it's just like, man, it's exhilarating. So we'll follow that. We'll go through that a little bit and have a few channels where we're opening up some boxes. I got some boxes that came in that I want to do some openings on because I'm tempted to open them without doing the video, but I know that's something that everybody likes. Um, Bear with me. This is the first time I've done a video. They should get better as we continue on. Keep in mind, this is a fun hobby. If you've collected cards in the past and you got back into collecting cards now, I mean, it's fun. You got guys on the internet now, Gary V, broadcasting and bringing card collecting back to the forefront again. Making it sound like it's a $1 million deal. Not sure if that's happening, but follow me along. I'm starting on a journey from my room, from my one room office in my house, and maybe we take this thing to a small little, depart our storefront out in the mall or out somewhere. So, maybe we go that far. Maybe we don't. Maybe we stop about halfway. Maybe I sell all my cards and I'm done. But no. Uh, like I said, the first thing you really want to do is inventory your cards. I know that's a painstaking process, but you want to inventory them. You want to not only do you want to get a card and be able to inventory the card, you want to get the card and you want to grade it. You want to grade it yourself. You want to have a basic understanding of how to grade. Uh, PSA, the website for PSA, and probably the forefront of certification, authentication of cards that you're going to find. It's the one that I'm going to use. Doing my research and finding PSA, I think is probably one that a lot of people use. Scott, it seems like it's easy to submit. So we're going to submit to them, to PSA. But you got to be able to kind of grade it first. You got to understand the corners are very important. The sides, the coloring, centering, off center from right to left, top to bottom, all those things play an importance on the card. The back side of the card, not as much. Uh, Sometimes you can get away with the back side a little bit, but it still has to be decent condition. Staining, gum stains, any type of discoloring, all those things can make a difference in your card's value. So kind of get an idea and start judging your cards or grading your cards yourself. Anything you come across from about a 7 earlier years in the 80s, if you have a 7 from the 80s and it's a card that's collectible, let's say, you have your Jordans, you have your Montanas, you have your Brady's. Those guys are going to stand the test of time. I don't care what year you get of any of those players. If you get them at a 10 or you get them at a 9, you need to go ahead and grade that because that thing's going to sell. Your other guys, your average Joes, they're gonna peak. They're gonna peak and valley through the course of the year. And typically, what I've seen is if he's got the potential while he's playing, he's always going to have a little higher peak. After he continues playing, the better he is, the more recognition he gets as a player, the higher that card can peak. The higher that card can peak, which is good for you. After that guy leaves the game, well, then it's what kind of legacy did he have? Was he somebody that a lot of people followed? Did he make it that status, like a Deion Sanders, who, I mean, no matter what team he went to, no matter where he went, you're following this guy. This card's collectible. Uh, you know, are you a Hall of Famer? You have the potential to be a Hall of Famer. As you get up into the years after you retire to Hall of Fame, are being considered for the Hall of Fame, that card can start to spike again. It'll start to spike again. Once you're elected into the Hall of Fame, you're going to have a high spike on that card. And then it'll taper off. It'll taper off. Now, again, that doesn't include your Montanas, your Sanders, your Brady. Those guys are going to stay fairly consistent the whole way. But the other average guys will have their peaks and valleys. Sadly to say, when somebody passes away, he's going to have an interest again. People are going to be interested. They're going to say, oh, yeah, remember that guy? I liked him back in the early years. I kind of forgot about him. Does he have any cards? Does he have anything available? So sadly enough, and when somebody passes away, it's a good time to make some money on your cards, unfortunately, because he's going to be spiking a little bit. So those are things to look for. So if you don't have an idea who you have, if you don't have an idea of the players you have or the cards types that you have as far as value grades, when those incidents take place, hey, this guy's elected in the Hall of Fame, hey, this guy passed away, and, oh, I don't know if I have that guy or not, you can't take advantage of that spike. So look to take advantage of that spike, get to know the cards, have an inventory of your cards. It's not hard to do. Basically you just need, know the year, the name of the player. If you want to put the card number on there, you can. What you think the cost is of the card, what you graded the card out as, and the maker of the card, whether it was Topps, whether it was Panini, whether it was Donruss, whether it was National Treasures or Upper Deck. Put some information out there, and another way of kind of inventorying your collection is to use Price Guide, priceguide.cards. It's a free website. You can search cards, and it has a lot of great analytics on it. It tells you a lot of information about cards that have been purchased, what that card sold for, ungraded, what it sold for, graded. It gives you a list of the grades that were sold, whether it was a PS10, whether it was PS8 or 7 or 6. It gives you a lot of information that can put out there on the card. You still got to do more. You don't want to use that as your only source, but it's a good source to go to as a starter. You still want to check eBay and see what the card is going for on there. You can check PSA. Let's see what it goes for, what their population report is on that card. You want to check a few areas in doing your own grading. But Price Guide, like I said, it's free. It has every card. It's a real simple process. You type in the year that you're looking for, the brand. If it's Panini in the late, after the later years, it has all their sub brands, Donruss, and everybody else that they collected. Click on that. If it's an insert card, you can click on that, lower the results back. The number of results that you get back. And then you can click on either the name or the card number. Click that and it'll give you probably a population list of 20 or so, 40, depending on how many different variations they have that year. Find your variation, find your card. It'll tell you what the average price is of that card going on, particularly in that website. You click on that card, it'll give you a picture of that card, and then it has an area where you can add that card to your own portfolio that you can keep on that website for free. Click on that card, give it a grade, put it in your portfolio, and now instead of going through and writing them out yourself, you have an area where you can go through and see your portfolio there, from them. It's not bad. I mean, I use that and I make my own list for my own collection. But it's a nice thing to have. It's nice backup. It gives you a lot of good analytics on your collection as far as the year, average price per year, what's the high value year, how many cards per year do you have, I mean, you can set it up several different ways, several different widgets that you can set up for your liking. I think I have something as far as average cost per year, cards broken up by year, uh, different little things like that that I use, and I find to be a very good website. Check it out if you're interested. It's free. You know, some of these guys I've seen on this internet, these webcasts will have a lot of information, how to do this, how to do that. Send me a check, pay me, and I'll give you my process that is constantly updated or constantly going, you know, for $30.99 or whatever they're charging. I don't want to charge you for the hobby. It's a hobby. It's fun. You know, this is a hobby community. You know, for us guys that are out here trying to help you and help each other, I'm not here to charge you. So if you got questions and you've got an area, I'm always going to lead you in the direction that I think is free, and that's good. You know, if there's something that I come across and I think, wow, man, that was actually pretty good, it was worth the money, I'll pass it along to you. Not that I'm getting sponsored by it or was getting sponsored by it. No, it's just something that I like and that I agree with. All right, guys. All right, let's get to it.